Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is the day we're going to be going over the tier list for Tactical Arena. Now before we begin, I'd like to show you what Tactical Arena is. Tactical Arena is your killing house. I believe it's called Kill House, sorry. It's that 5v5 hero arena. So this tier list is not going to be about rallies or exploration mode, so you guys don't get confused. It's only for Tactical Arena. So out of our 17 characters, let us see who's on top and who's at the bottom. Alright, so here is the tier list. As you can see, I have separated the classes. That way they they don't intertwine in the game, so that's why I spread them out. But yeah, I don't think I did too bad, right? I'm not a graphic designer by any means, but I did put some work into it. So let us start off with our attackers. You guys might have some problems with where I put some of these heroes, but here's my arguments against them. So again, we have Claret S tier. She is incredible. That minigun erases entire health bars from characters if they're standing still, so that's why I have her up there. She also has a stun, and she has two self buff abilities, one of her regular abilities and one on her exclusive weapon. So that is why I have her at S class, because she's just so good. I will say a disclaimer, I'm going to say a lot of S tier, S class a lot, so I just hope you guys know what I'm talking about. I have Ada at A tier because, well, I think two of her abilities are just not that good. She has that scanning ability where it scans the whole arena to make objects stronger, but unfortunately, there's nothing like that in Tactical Arena. And then she has the decoy. Now, it does do damage, but it takes a while for it to come out, and it does not distract anyone because it only distracts infected. But she also has that self buff, which is very good for her. And then she has that team buff on her exclusive weapon that increases the attack and defense of all heroes. So that is why I have her at A tier. That ability alone to buff everyone's abilities is why I have her at A tier. Now Becca, she has that fan ability where she basically shoots everywhere, in a fan-shaped area. That does a lot of damage. I've had some higher level players have Becca on their team and pretty much shoot wildly, and that won them the whole match against me. So I will say that's why I put her at A tier. But she also has that self buff ability where she increases her attack speed and then where she increases her attack damage. So again, that's why I have her at A tier. Now moving on to B tier, I have Murphy. Murphy's ability, his main ability is to shoot, in a fan-shaped area too, but it does not shoot far at all. But his other skills are what makes him good. That's why I have him at B tier, because one of his abilities is just not that great. But that snipe ability where he can go through heroes' defenses, that would be great against like Carlos, Marvin, Leon, Mark, where they have high defense stats. He shoots right through those and can deal a moderate amount of damage toward them, so he could help take those giants down. He also has the headshot ability where he shoots someone in the head and he stuns them, and that's for the whole arena, so he can bypass people in the front and shoot the people in the back. So I think that's what makes him a very good hero. We have Catherine, also in B tier. I think what makes her B tier immediately is just that defense ability where she increases everyone's defense on the team. I think it's like 80% more. So that is an incredible jump in defense. It's almost 100%, They also help everyone's survivability, especially your front line. But her flamethrower doesn't shoot that far, and she has a self buff on her attack, But her tech stat isn't that high either, though, so it's not like it's going to be that much of a difference. It's just that defense ability that makes her fantastic. And then I have Alyssa at C tier. Now, a lot of people are probably going to be mad about that. I know her V-Jolt ability comes out pretty often, but it's mostly used in exploration mode, so yeah, I don't think that ability should be any good in Tactical Arena. She does have a 25% chance to do extra damage, but I feel like that's just not enough. But she also has the ability to stun. I think she has the longest stun in the game for 4 seconds. But that stun ability takes so long to come out that I just don't think it's worth it. But yeah, that is it for our attackers. Alright, now we are in our defender class. So, as you can see, I have Leon at S tier. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. He has a lot of counter abilities. So he does have the rocket launcher. That thing, oh my god. I've had it shoot someone in the back line and it take out 2 people in the front line because of how the explosion damage works, as it's like an area effect, and it takes out 3 people, either the person in the back line, the person next to them, and then the person in front of them. I've had that happen. So that ability alone is fantastic. But then he also has the kick, the roundhouse kick, where if anyone does get close to him, he knocks them back and then stuns them. And then he also has the Lightning Hawk ability, which when he shoots, it not only stuns them, but it goes through them and hits the person behind them as well, dealing double damage. Or not double damage, but like double the damage when it hits one person and hits the other. So yeah, his kit is incredible, and all of his abilities stun. So no matter what, like, Leon is just the best. And then also we have Carlos in the front line. Now, he has his ability with his shield, which is not too good, only because he is in the front line and he's constantly getting shot at. But he has, I think, the highest defense in the game with Leon. So he's able to survive a lot, and then with his exclusive weapon ability, he has 25% more defense, which I forgot to bring with Leon. With his exclusive ability on his weapon, he takes 25% less damage. So that's why those two are up there on S tier. But Carlos also has his grenade, which comes out like every 7 seconds, and that thing go up to 1,000 damage every 7 seconds. So that thing does a lot of damage itself. And then he has his self buff where he, like, every 3 attacks he does like almost 200% damage. So yeah, that's why I have them both at S tier. And then we go on to A tier. Now, if you guys don't have Carlos or Leon, I recommend these two in your front line. We have Mark. He has that ability where he reduces damage taken by 80%, which is incredible. He can even tank Jill's laser. So I think he can tank most abilities. I've had him take an entire barrage of Claire's minigun and survive the whole thing. Now you're probably wondering why I don't have him at S class, but it's because he has another ability where every 3 seconds, if he's not being hit, he can get healed, but there's no chance for him to get healed because of, he's in the front line. He's constantly getting shot. So, and then he has another ability where he does like to run toward the enemy team, but sometimes when he does get close enough, he does have that ability where he stuns them as well. He gets in their face and smacks them in the face, basically. So yeah, he is an alright character. And then we have Marvin. Oh my god, guys, that barrier, that thing distracts so many heroes. I've had Claire's shoot at the barrier which is fantastic because, you know, a minigun toward the barrier or a laser from Jill at the barrier saves your heroes. Again, he's an amazing front line. He does have a good amount of defense as well. So he is surviving in the front. But that barrier ability, out of everything, is why that it's so important to have him and your team. And then, let's say we're jumping down to C tier. Not even in B tier, but the C tier. You have Robert Kendo. Now, the reason why I have him at C tier is because, well, he can't even use one of his abilities because no one's getting in his face. So he has that ability where if someone does get in his face, he puts a bomb on them and pushes them back. But if no one's in front of him, he can't put the bomb on them. And then he also has the ability where he does that pushback with his shotgun. Well, most heroes are in the back line anyway. He's not really pushing them anywhere. And I know it has movement speed debuff, but no one's really running around on this, you know, on the arena. They're just staying still, really. So his pushback ability only affects one person, which is why we're going to go down to D tier. This is Tyrone. And I feel so sorry for Tyrone and Tyrone lovers. Oh my god. But he is the worst when it comes to Tactical Arena. No matter if you have him in the front line or the back line, whatever it is, the only way he can attack anyone is if he gets in their face. And as we talked about before, everyone, you know, has a counter to him. So if he were to run up to Leon, Leon just pushes him back with the kick and stuns him. If we have him attacking Mark, he's gonna put up that shield that reduces 80% damage, and then he's gonna slap him in the face and stun him. We have Marvin. He puts down the barrier and he'll just attack the barrier, distracting him completely. And then Robert Kendo, you know, even Kendo can shoot him with his shotgun blast where it knocks back, and he'll be knocked back all over again and stunned. So he has plenty, and I mean plenty of counters, and that's not even including all of them because we still got to go into our Rangers. So yeah, Tyrone, I'm sorry, but you're just the worst in defense. But now let us move on to our Rangers. Alright, and last but not least, we have our Rangers. So it's no surprise that I have Jill at S tier. This girl can one-shot 2 heroes at a time if they're lined up correctly, sometimes 3. So yeah, her with her railgun can just erase half the team. So just that ability alone. But she also has the team buff where she can buff them at max level like 10% more attack. So yeah, that's also incredible. And she has the grenade launcher as well that does damage over time. So again, she is incredible. And she also has the self buff on her exclusive weapon ability as well. So Jill is just a powerhouse. She does so much damage. Now you guys are also probably wondering why I have Barry at S class when another legendary hero is at A class with Ada. Well, I'm not surprised, honestly, because I see a lot of people in Tactical Arena. I've looked at their teams, you know, the people on the top. Some of them replace Ada with Barry because I think that's also a good way to do that too, because Barry does so much damage, guys. I've had him erase some of my heroes so quickly. He has that 6-shot burst. Oh my god. So if at max level, that does over 2,000% attack damage. So, you know, that's almost as much as Jill's railgun practically. And then he has the self buff where he does more damage and he shoots faster. That gun does a lot of damage, guys. So, you know, just being out there for 10 seconds, he can just knock down people one by one if he's left alone. So yeah, that's why I have him at S class. Now on to our 8 other A tiers. We have Tyrone. Sorry, not Tyrone, Tyrell. Sorry, there's two Ties in this game, so forgive me. Tyrell, he is fantastic because he has that turret. I think he's the only other person in this game who has something he can put down besides Marvin. So that turret is fantastic. Not only does it do its own damage, but it has its own health pool. So it's something that can distract other heroes. And then again, another counter toward Tyrone, because if someone has to hit it in order for it to affect the stunning mechanic on it. So if Tyrone would run up to the turret and hit it, he'll get stunned. So again, another counter for Tyrone. I'm sorry, buddy, but that's why you're in D tier. But now Tyrell also has the ability where anyone near the turret also gets an attack buff. So, that thing has 3 uses. That turret does so much for the team. Buffs, stuns, and does its own damage. So, incredible. If you guys don't have Jill, I would recommend putting Tyrell in the back line with you. And then we have Mikael as well in the A tier. He has that ability where the frontline heroes, they get increased attack and defense. So I think that's also why I have him at A tier, as well as the ability where he, throws the barrel at you guys and does an area and effect damage. So it does a little over, maybe almost 1500% of attack. So that ability is fantastic. And then he has the ability where if his HP is low, so let's say he got hit by an AoE, he didn't die completely, but now he's almost dead. That the more HP he's missing, the faster he starts shooting his weapon. So he can become a DPS powerhouse in the back if he is, almost dead. Not dead, of course, but almost dead. So that's when he is at his best. So that's why I think he should be an A tier as well, mostly because of the team buff for your frontline, And then again, skipping B tier, we're going to C tier for Brad Vickers. Now, Brad, I'm sorry. He has that pushback with the sign. He does throw the sign, and I've always seen him hit it, so it's not like he can miss. At least maybe I haven't seen him miss, but yeah, he pushes back, and it does a movement speed reduction for your heroes, but no one's really moving anywhere. The only person moving is Tyrone. So he is very effective against Tyrone, but not really anyone else. He does have that ability where I think it's every 15 seconds he increases the defense of all heroes for like 8 seconds, but that's a whole 15 seconds you have to wait until that ability procs. So there's no reason to use that, Sometimes half your team's already gone in 15 seconds. And then he has the self buff where if anyone has a movement speed debuff on them, he does increase damage. But that's the only reason why I have him at C tier, because that ability is kind of good. He can put that together with Kendo's ability where that reduces the movement speed, or I'm trying to figure out who else has that. But yeah, right now I think it's also Murphy has that ability, but right now there's not a lot of people he can synergize with, so that's why I have him at C tier. But yeah, that is the whole tier list. I tried explaining as much as I could. Again, I'm not a graphic designer, so this is what the tier list looks like, but let me know what you guys think. Alright, so that is the tier list. What do you guys think? Again, we only have 17 characters in the game. As I'm recording this, it is January 2026, and they have not added anyone new, but I'm thinking that they're going to add some at the end of the month. So hopefully we can see more characters come in and we can put them on the tier list. But what do you guys think? Did you guys like the tier list? Did you guys like the explanations? Should I have gone more in depth? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know where you'd place each hero at. Again, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit those post notifications for future videos. I'll see you guys in the next video.